Very cool BCM custom cue by BRYAN MORDT. We sold this cue a while back to one of our customers. He played with it for a short while. He is not currently using the cue, so he sent it back to us to sell at a significant discount for a quick sale. This is a really, really good little find for somebody. The wood is absolutely exceptional. This is some really, 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 really good wood. What you're looking at here in the handle section, or like we like to say here at Crossroad Cues, we call it the slick handle section. So when you're dealing with a wrapless cue, that area right there is what we call the slick handle. And boy, is this one slick. And I don't mean because it's slippery. Let's take a close-up at this wood right here. What you're looking at in the midsection there, the slick handle's made out of Thuya Burl. That's some expensive wood right there. The floating points are also Thuya Burl. So you have a total of 8 floating Thuya Burl points into curly maple, highly figured curly maple. Great combination there. So you've got 4 up top, and then you've got 4 down low, okay? So the points, of course, in the forearm or the top section of the cue mirror the bottom section, or some people refer to this as the butt of the cue, right? So butt sleeve of the cue. But let's really take a close-up and look at the figure in that Thuya. Again, very expensive wood. It's not a common wood that you're going to see every day in cues. This is definitely a good little catch for somebody. There's a few minor flaws that I'm going to point out to you. That's why we're selling it at a quick sale price. The cue rolls nice and straight, so no issues as far as structurally goes. Extremely, extremely solid hitting cue. If you don't like a cue that hits soft or even medium, you want a nice firm hit, forward balance. I'm going to show you right now. Let's see. Okay, as I'm moving my hand right about there. Okay, so there's your balance point. The cue is definitely naturally forward balanced. You've got the big pin there. All the specs are on the post. But really, really, really solid hit. This will make for a perfect everyday player for somebody, especially somebody that can appreciate some wood that is definitely not a basic wood. Okay, so here's the flaws. You guys and gals know that I am all about pointing out things. I'd rather undersell and over-deliver every day of the week. And it's really, truly minor. So the butt cap right here, you've got some scratches in the butt cap. I'll see if I can kind of zoom in there for you. There you go. That would be a very easy touch-up if you had a local cue maker or somebody you wanted to have touch that up for you. I would not personally do anything to this cue unless you're going to buy it and you want to keep it as a cue that you could add to your collection. But if you want to buy a cue that plays really good, that's a very, 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 very cool looking cue made out of some exceptional wood, I would personally just leave that alone. That wouldn't bother me. But if you like your stuff to be really, really pristine condition, that's an easy touch up. You also have a few marks at the joint. But this type of phenolic, or whatever this material is, it looks as though it's scratched. It's actually just faded underneath there. So a lot of the material that some of the cue makers use, a lot of times you'll see this particular material in brown. In this case, it's black, and it will kind of fade a little bit. So those aren't all scratches, but you do have a few scratches there. And then the rings at the bottom, you can't feel the rings. So some cues, the finish may be a little bit, the finish may be a little bit thin. You could kind of feel the rings, or in this case, sometimes the cue maker will use a silver or something of that nature, and then it can pop through the finish. That's not the case here. You can't feel the rings at all, which tells me that he's got a really nice thick finish, but it looks a little bit cloudy in there around the rings, if that makes sense to any of you cue buffs out there. So I'm just trying to point everything out. But again, nice and straight cue. If somebody wanted to get it and make it perfect, I've got some great cue makers that we could recommend that could refinish it for you. But again, not necessary. at all. Both of the shafts are in good condition. I'm not even going to clean them. I'm selling it to you quick sale price plus shipping, just the way that it is. So one of the shafts, this shaft over here to my right, that shaft is, I've got it advertised as a pie-shaped shaft. I can't tell you for sure because there's no logo, but I'm almost positive. So this shaft comes up about 12.75 to 12.8, depending on where you measure it on the ferrule or underneath the ferrule. I'm almost positive, guys and girls, that is a 314 shaft. You can buy a Predator 314 and you can send that somewhere and have it built out for you. A lot of people do that. I've done that before with cue makers, and then some people choose to not put the logo on there. I know old Shane Jackson up there in Pennsylvania, he does that with a lot of his cues. He'll buy a Predator 314, have it built out without the logo on it, just because it looks better that way. I'm almost positive that's what this is, but either way, I'm just going to advertise that as a low deflection shaft, but I'm almost positive that's a 314. So it's 12.75, which also is indignant of the common size of the 314. That one is nice and straight. It just needs a little bit of a cleaning. And then you've got a maple shaft that I believe was the original shaft with the cue. Both have the matching ring work, by the way. This shaft has a taper roll. So there's a little bit of, sorry, I can see if I can get you on camera there a little more. A little bit of movement like in the center of the shaft. Okay, so a taper roll meaning when you roll it, see it's moving a little bit there in the middle. There you go. Again, full transparency. The tip does not come off the table. This, again, if it was me buying this cue to play with, that would not personally bother me at all. So you've got some movement in the center of the shaft. Tip does not move off the table. That shaft is 13 millimeters and it weighs 3.9. So BCM custom cue with some really, really nice exotic premium wood there. Thuya Burl, not a common wood, on a beautiful slick-handled cue being sold as is and shown for a discounted price right here at Crossroad Cues. We're going to throw it up on the website. If you need some financing, check out the options. If you have any questions about this or any of our cues, please reach out through the website or hit me up on Messenger or give me a call. Thanks for taking a peek. Crossroad Cues.